Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Today's discourse is based on Karaniya Metta Sutta, the discourse of the Buddha on universal love. Now, we have chosen this theme as the most appropriate one for today, which is, this discourse is for the Kartika Purnima, which was celebrated yesterday, but today we have the discourse of the Kartika Purnima. So, the Karaniya Metta Sutta incorporates Buddhism in its totality. Ultimately, Buddha Dhamma can be reduced to just 3 words: Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Sila means virtue based on moral purification. Samadhi is development of the mind so that it can attain to the supramental states of Samadhi. And Panya, wisdom, that which enables us to penetrate into the realities of all things. That is our mind and the world around, and that which is beyond both mind and the world. Now, these 3 are the shortened form of the Noble Eightfold Path. And the Buddha described his teaching as the Noble Eightfold Path. Karaniya Metta Sutta incorporates the Noble Eightfold Path in a most wonderful, practical and methodical manner. Now, the sutta begins with the word Karaniyam, that which should be done, meaning that the rationale of this technique of spiritual development will have to be understood. So it is said, Karaniyam Attha Kusalena. One who truly cares for his well-being and his welfare, the true welfare, meaning freedom from all dukkha, from all suffering. That is the true objective for every serious truth seekers, every serious seekers of Dhamma. So anyone who truly seeks this goal of freeing oneself from the bondages of the mind that create all the sufferings in the world, he or she should engage in this form of cultivation of the mind, as adumbrated in the Karaniya Metta Sutta. Now, before I actually analyze the sutta in terms of Sila, Samadhi and Panya, it would be appropriate for me to tell you the historical background of the sutta. The sutta was given by the Buddha on a certain occasion during the rains retreat. Now, before the rains retreat, it was customary for the monks to go and visit the Buddha and seek his blessings, to practice meditation in an intensive manner during the rains retreat and achieve the goal of spiritual life, which is enlightenment, bodhi, meaning freedom from suffering of all kinds in the world. So now, monks from all over India used to go to Savatthi when Buddha was staying there. He spent 25 years over there. And they would request the Lord to guide them spiritually, and by giving them a particular method of meditation or a spiritual technique by which during the rains retreat he or she could reach the goal of spiritual life. So 500 monks appeared before the Buddha one fine morning, and they said that they were meditating for quite some time, and they are very anxious to reach the goal of meditation, which is freedom of mind. Freedom through purifying the mind through samadhi, and freedom through the attainment of wisdom by which one penetrates into the reality of the Four Noble Truths and thereby gains nibbana, spiritual liberation. So the Buddha read through the minds of the 500 monks. They thought they were practicing meditation, and so they were quite advanced, and they really didn't need any other meditative technique to be given to them, whether as a special meditation practice or as an auxiliary, a supporting meditative practice to help in achieving the goal through the basic meditation that one practices. So now the Buddha read their minds and thought that, well, these monks think that they know they have been meditating a lot. Okay, let them learn the lesson the hard way. So they just sought the blessings, and Bhagavan said, okay, may you all be happy and you can go. So they went and they walked all the way for 7 days from Savatthi. They went to the Himalayan foothills, that is modern Tarai area of the Uttar Pradesh, and they settled down in a place, in a very beautiful, delightful place indeed. Ramaniyang Thanang, it is said. Ramaniyang, most delightful. There the place, it was a small hillock, and all around very beautiful groves, forested area with ancient trees, some of them going up to 200 or 300 feet. Huge trees, very quiet and serene and silence. Then they found that around a river which literally skirted that mountain, that hillock. All around the hillock it went from one side to the other, it flew, and there was a very nice bank filled with white sands. So they were extremely charmed by the place, and they spent the night over there. Next morning they went to the nearby market town. Rather, it was a big village with a regular market there. So when the people in the village, there were 500 households in that market town, and they were very well off because most of them were businessmen and dealing with all the rural products. They were quite, when they saw the monks, they were very, very happy indeed. They welcomed them. Then they offered the alms meals to them. And then they said, Bhante, Venerable Sir, please stay on here during the 4 months of rainy season, spend your rains retreat here, so that everybody can benefit. We will benefit by offering dana and serving you, and you will also achieve your goal of spiritual liberation. So it will be good for everybody. Please stay there. We will build each one of you a hut and equip the hut with a cot and a stool to sit down and the water, etc. Everything will make arrangement. Venerable Sir, please stay on. So they did that. They had a nice place there. Each one had a hut and whatever accessories necessary for the hut. And then they plunged into meditation in a very serious manner. And then they thought that the best way to progress would be to choose a tree, a foot of a tree, each monk. So each monk chose a tree under which he spent the whole day and sometimes deep in the night meditating. Now all these trees in the entire forest, in other words, or rather grove, this entire grove was occupied by the monks. Now these trees were special trees. These trees formed the base of some deities, the three deities, Rukkha Devata, Vriksha Devata. These are beings who dwell, who build some celestial mansions with the tree as the base, and they dwell there with their family or retinue. They were, when these devas or gods, these deities saw these monks, they were very happy. They said, oh, now the monks have come, we'll not disturb them, we'll rather help them. So they did nothing, but just wish them well. For a couple of days, the monks stayed there regularly, and they were very comfortable. But as days passed, now these deities got disturbed. They thought, well, we are dispossessed of our homes. We can't stay above these monks who are meditating underneath all the time, day and night. So how can we stay now? They respected virtue. In fact, virtue is respected everywhere. More so in the Devaloka rather than in the Manushaloka, in the human world. In the divine planes, they have great regard for those people who are virtuous, spiritually advanced, and very sincere-minded. So these devas allowed them to stay there, and though they were dispossessed of their dwellings, they went, around in the other places. Everywhere there were deities, so they somehow managed to, help each other, and they stayed for a few days. But then they said, no, enough is enough. They have stayed here long enough. They have overstayed our hospitality. So now it is time to make them go. So what they did, they said, they gathered in one place and said, let us assume all kinds of hideous forms, something which is very terrible to look at, very frightening sights and very terrible sounds that will literally, just destroy the ear drums. Or if the sights, they close their eyes and they somehow manage, then the sound will crack them off. And if that doesn't happen, we will send such horrible stench, bad odor, bad smell, that they will be driven out of the place. So that is just what they wanted to do, and they succeeded. These monks, at the beginning, when they saw these horrible sights, they were much disturbed and troubled, but they say, okay, we'll close our eyes, it doesn't matter. So then their eardrums started pounding them, and they couldn't bear the terrible noise and the screech and terrible racket all around all the time. So then the stench began. They couldn't smell. They could not even breathe. So it was when it was impossible, they all gathered together, went to the chief Thera and said, Bhante, it is impossible to meditate. By then they had all become thin and pale and so disturbed indeed. So they said what to do. These evil spirits, they thought, they were not really evil spirits. They were three deities. So these sprites, as they are called, are disturbing us. Probably they don't want us to be here. Probably we have disturbed their dwellings. So, sir, what to do? Now the Mahathera said, look, let us go to Bhagavan. Once again, though we have now started the Varsa Vasa, the rains retreat, and we can't break it, but Lord has permitted us to have a second Varsa Vasa, so let us go to Sarsavati and tell it to Bhagavan and get his guidance and then do the needful. So they went, even without, they were so frightened and disturbed, even without informing the devotees, they just bolted, literally bolted, ran away. So they arrived at Savatthi, and the Buddha had already seen through the whole thing. So Bhagavan said, oh, you have all arrived. How come you have broken your rains retreat? He said, Bhagavan, you know everything. See, we are much disturbed, and they described what a terrible time they went through. So Buddha said, my dears, he just penetrated into the hearts of each one of the monks and found out that the possibility of becoming an Arhat, a liberated, enlightened, holy monk, enlightened being, that possibility is there in every one of them. But they cannot achieve their goal anywhere else apart from the place they have come. Namely, the same forest area, and they have to go back there and win over those deities, and then only they can become Arhat. So the Buddha said, monks, wherever you may go in throughout the whole universe, under the great ocean, in the deep sky or space, anywhere, in any plane of existence, you just can't become liberated. The only possibility for you is to go back from where you have come and face the problem very soundly, without fear, and overcome it, and you will reach the goal. Then he said, I will give you a powerful protective sutta that will not only protect you, that will provide you with the meditative techniques and basically the spiritual, basically the entire spiritual methodology by which you can attain Arhathood. You will have the entire Noble Eightfold Path in that sutta, and therefore you practice it, learn it by heart, go as you walk back for another week, whole time you just recite the sutta. It is a protective Paritrana sutta. It is a protective sutta. The devas will protect you. And also meditative sutta, a method which will give you exactly how step by step you can go and reach to the very summit of spirituality. So, these monks learned the sutta, Karaniya Metta Sutta, and proceeded. They walked back again for 7 days and then resumed their Varsavasa after reaching the spot. Now, the householders, they were astounded how the monks had run away without even telling them. So now these devas, as they recited the suttas throughout, while coming from Savatthi up to that place, the minds of those devas were completely surcharged with the powerful vibrations emanating from the hearts of those monks. Powerful vibrations of metta, universal love. So the monks, those devas were completely overwhelmed with love, radiated by these monks. So they assumed the human form. As soon as they saw that the monks were arriving, they just assumed the human form and went far ahead in order to welcome them. And they say, "Venerable sir, please come. You are most welcome. We will serve you." And so forth, conducted them to their places. And they promised that there will be a pin drop silence here for them to meditate with great earnestness, and nobody will disturb them. Such is the power of universal love, that even these celestial beings of great power, who earlier were quite hostile to them, were, you see, conquered. Their hearts were conquered by the power of universal love, which was radiated by these monks. So these monks settled down there. Then they went to the villages where they used to go for alms round. Those devotees said, "Bhante, where did you go? You abandoned us. Never even told us that you are going away." Now, on the basis of that, later on the monks were advised. Actually, Buddha told them that never to go away without informing devotees, who take all the trouble to look after them. So now they put forth absolutely, they made an iron determination and put forth effort. And by the time the Varsavasa ended, they had all become arhats, and they were immensely grateful indeed. Now I shall recite this sutta, which has this tremendous power, and then tell you the English meaning. Now let the monks recite with me, everyone. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa karaniya mattha kusalena yantang santang padang abhisamecha sakko ujucha sujucha suvacho chassamudu anatimani santos sakocha subharocha appakichocha sallahu kabutti santindriyocha nipakocha appagabho kuleso ananugidho nacha khuddhang samachare kinchi yena vinyo pare upavadeyong sukhino vakhe binohantu sabbe satta bhavantu sukhisatta. ye kechipana bhutati tasava thavarava anavasesa dighava ye mahantava Bhajjiva rasakanu kathula Dittha vayeva addittha Ye cha dure vasanti avidure Bhutava sambhave siva Sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta Naparo parang me ko betha Jnati manjetha katha sinan kanchi Vyaro sanapati ghasanya Nahanya manyasya dukkha michaya Mata yatha niyam puttang Ayusa eka putta manurakhe Evam pi sabba bhutesu Manasang bhavaye aparimanang Mettancha sabba lokasmi Manasang bhavaye aparimanang Uddhan adho chatiriyancha Asangvadhan avedang asapatang Tittan charang nesenova Sayanova yavatassa vigatameddan Etang sating adhitheya Brahmametang viharang idhamahum Dittincha anupagamma sitavam Dasanena sampanno Kamesu vinaya gedhan Nahi jatu gabbhaseyan punareti. Now the meaning of the sutta which we have now read out is this. Please be attentive, focus your mind onto what is being said and follow the meaning as far as you can. This will be, this is the basis for a meditative practice. In fact, the basis for spiritual sadhana, spiritual practice in its totality, consisting of sila, samadhi, panya. Now, whoso his welfare seeks to promote, having glimpsed the state of perfect peace, nibbana, he or she should be able, honest and upright, gentle in speech, meek and not proud. He should be contented, easy to support, not over busy, and be simple in living, tranquil in his senses. Let him be prudent, wise, not brazen, nor fawning on families. He should refrain from any action that gives the wiser reason for reproof. May all beings be happy and secure. May all beings be well disposed at heart. Whatever living creatures there be, without exception, weak or strong, long or huge, middle-sized, short, minute or bulky, whether visible or invisible, and those living afar or near, the born and those seeking birth. May all beings be happy. Let none deceive or decry his fellow anywhere with resentment or hate. Let none wish another's harm. Just as with her own life, a mother shields her only child, so let him have a mind of boundless love for all beings. Let him cultivate a mind of boundless love for all throughout the universe, in all its heights, depth and breadth. Love that is unrestricted and beyond hatred or enmity. Whether he stands, walks, sits, or lies, as long as he is awake, let him maintain this mindfulness of universal love, deemed here a divine state. Holding no wrong views, virtuous and with vision of the ultimate Nibbana, having overcome all sensual desire, never in a womb is he reborn again. Now this sutta is divided into three parts. Sila, where it is said that a person who really seeks his well-being should be able, honest, upright, etc. There are about 15 qualities. And then these are all forms of sila. This is how sila is practiced in the form of a practice of metta. Now, for instance, he said he should refrain from any action that gives wiser reason to reprove. So don't give anybody any chance to find fault. So anybody who is blameless, who cannot be blamed, that person is virtuous, the sila is full. Only then can samadhi or spiritual practice through meditation is possible. So the meditative part, it is said, whatever living being, creatures there be without exception, and may all beings be happy. Now, may all beings be happy is said everywhere. Even at the end of the sila, it is said, may I practice this virtuous conduct so that may all beings be happy. And now I practice meditation, at the end of which I said, may all beings be happy. May all be well disposed towards everyone in the universe. And then the third part is where cultivate a mind of boundless love, like the mother's heart, who is prepared to give up her life for the sake of protecting her only child. That kind of mind of universal love, born of wisdom, when one practices, one definitely, if one cannot become an arahat, one will become at least an anagami, so that it is said, having overcome all sensual desire, never in a womb is he born again. An anagami is freed from kamaloka, can never be born in a womb again. May the grace of Lord Buddha surround your lives with wisdom and well-being. May your hearts be suffused with abundant metta, universal love. May you all be happy. Sukhino bhavantu.